Hello, everyone. It's Sunday night. This is stream number 2. I am fine. I'm a little tired, but I'm fine. Thanks for asking. Welcome to Vampire Time. I'm extremely excited. Excited and happy to be joined by Inez and Blue. I was about to say Valone and Leto then. Like, no, that's for after the introduction.
Well,
that's the after bit. I'm already in storyteller mode already. My brain hasn't turned off since the Changeling stream. All of this has been one storytelling exercise. Yes, welcome to Vampire Time, with some amazing players and some amazing characters and some amazing roleplay coming up, I am sure. My name is Hedgehawk. I use he, him pronouns, and I can be found all over the internet at Hedgehawk UK. Mostly Blue Sky now, because that's where skies are bluer. I still technically have a presence on Musk's Dumpster Fire, but I don't really do anything over there anymore. I'm only holding it so I'm going to steal my username. But aside from that, we do have a new casting call out as well on our Blue Sky and our Twitter for a Hunter game that are running after New Year's. So if you want to play some World of Darkness Hunter shenanigans, go check that out. It's going to be dark. Well, it's supposed to be dark. How dark it is depends on me. Because this is supposed to be dark, but look at where we are. Dark adjacent is what I tend to do. It'll be.
There was a lot of blood last episode.
Last episode there was an awful lot of blood, and
it was very violent.
And there have been, dislocated joints before, and
we do
a lot of blood.
We do get dark, but this is going to be darker. I'm trying not to sound like an edgelord. I'm trying to sound like one of those teenage anime edgelords. It's be darker than that.
You are. That's fine.
I am the quintessential anime edgelord, who doesn't actually watch that much anime, but will pretend he does, because that way he fits in with everyone else around him.
Oh my god.
I don't know what a Jutsu Kaisen is. I don't know. People say it.
Go to the introductions.
Fine then. You go then, Inez.
Awesome, because I do know what a Jujutsu Kaisen is. Goddamn.
Hey.
Hello, everyone. My name is Inez. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm your succubus girlfriend with your consent, as always. Tonight, as of all nights, I will be playing your not so friendly true vampire Valerian, who is going through a lot, I think. It's he's going through it. You can find me everywhere on the internet at xxsuccubusgfxx or just succubusgf. My face is everywhere. It's very easy to find me. I'm most active on Blue Sky these days. My TikTok has screeched to a halt for some reason. I just haven't been very inspired. Let's just say that. What else? What else I do? Nothing for now. Next year there'll be lots of stuff though. So how about you have a nice holidays first? I'll let you rest for the holidays, okay? Yeah, that's my gift to you. Not showering you with this amazing content that I'm producing at every turn, okay? Thank you.
Oh, I can't wait for New Year. I'm at that point now where I'm like, I realize most of my projects are ending in the next 2 to 3 weeks, and then I'm like, then I've got nothing till New Year. What am I supposed to do with myself?
Rest, bitch. Goddamn.
No. I can't rest.
Yes.
Rest is I can rest when I'm dead.
Fuck you.
Anyway. Lastly, we have Blue.
Hello, I am trying to catch up on my notes because I just realised I hadn't written any for last episode. Hooray! Hi, I'm Blue. I'm going to be playing Alito, our friendly neighbourhood Malkavian, who went on a bit of a rampage last episode. And there's going to be absolutely no fallout from that whatsoever. Everything's fine.
Fallout in our sessions? No.
Yeah, no.
Actions don't have consequences.
You can find me on the internet under Sanguis Blue on pretty much all social media. That's it for now.
Awesome. Right then, with that, I'm going to roll the titles. Welcome back, everyone. Right. Last session. Well, 2 weeks ago. We should I recap it? I don't do a lot of the recaps, do I? And I feel like I outsource the problem to my players a lot. So excuse me. Last session, Valerian's sister, Cassiopeia, arrived after their mothers had told them that they were coming. Valerian has been given the difficult job of relaying to Cass who they really are and helping her decide if she wants to join the family in their undeath. Something that Valerian is not happy about at all, and is extremely conflicted with. Sadly, Valerian's hand was forced a little bit, because Leto woke up from 4 or 5 weeks of torpor, and was immediately hungry, and immediately went for Tristan, after realizing that the blood bags were disgusting.
Hey now, Tristan did that to himself.
Yes, I mean, Tristan did try to use Sense the Unseen because he thought that Leto was possessed or like something was affecting Leto, and then his eye bleeds because he's a salubri, and well, that's just fresh blood, and blood bags are
not just fresh blood.
not
just any fresh blood.
This isn't just any blood. This is M&S blood.
This is caviar of blood, and this is that's top notch.
So yeah, Leto decided to take a bite of that. Maybe a bit too much, but was pulled off eventually. Thankfully, otherwise we'd have had 2 Diableries in a single series. And then poor Cass came down the stairs, and immediately saw the blood, and then got pounced on by Leto. It's like, oh, more human blood. and
Damn.
started gulping down on that, much to the
Damn.
annoyance of Valerian, who has now had to explain to Cass about vampirism, maybe not in the way that they were originally anticipating.
I was to say they were gonna have to do that anyway.
Yeah, we've shortened the process.
Yeah, I helped.
No.
Well, you did something because Cass seems slightly enamored with Leto now.
Well,
after the
after she threatened
experience.
to shoot
Yeah.
Leto. Yeah.
Yes. After a bit of anger, which then subsided and then turned into, oh, actually, I could dig with this. And Kaz now has a bit of a thing for blonde women. All of a sudden, especially if they're slightly unhinged and crazy.
Here's the thing, right? I don't disagree with her. That's the thing. It was very hot.
It was.
However, Valerian hates that.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, we did get to see a slightly lighter side of Valerian, like ribbing backwards and forwards with his sister.
Oh, that's true. The sibling energy was
the
high.
sibling of, yeah, no, well, fuck you, I hate you as well. It's like,
yeah. It was truly like, you know, like that.
I begin to see how their mothers have become their mothers, if that's what they were like growing up.
Well, yes.
And besides, I mean, Cass is enjoying it here right now.
Well, that's good for her. Okay. Anyways, go ahead.
We had a lot of conversations towards the end about, you know, eating responsibly and, you know, making sure that we're not, you know, still hungry and going to attack anyone at will. But it was getting late, and everyone decided to separate and turn in after a few hours of talking and thinking. Cass has elected to try and keep to a vampiric time schedule. So she is going to try and sleep during the day to be up with everybody else. A few things are happening over this night. So the first big thing from the end of the last episode was the Aurora Borealis above London. That lasts for another 3 nights, as all the residual glamour disappears. Fun fact: in the ending in the Changeling game, they sealed banality out of Arcadia, and in doing so, accidentally wiped out every vampire in Singapore. Yeah, they came up with a way to erase banality, and accidentally aimed it at Singapore, and it just undid every vampire in Singapore. But you don't know that yet. It's fine. It's fine. You're not going to hear about that for a while.
It's not fine.
What?
Oh, the other thing they did, the internet no longer works.
Like
The
at all?
internet has crashed. Yeah, every major server has crashed.
The dub has
The dub is
down.
gone. D/Zelda used their gremlins on the internet and rolled 6 successes. So yeah, most of the internet is now offline.
Okay.
Most of your like phones still work. Like you can make phones and text, cellular networks still work. But yeah, you can't access the phone, like internet on your phone. The Camarilla are having a field day right now. With their old-fashioned, handwritten messages and couriers. But yeah, if you want to browse Google or Facebook, yeah, no, you're going to do that at least for the next 21 days.
Wow.
Yeah, they cause some problems.
God, I hate changelings.
So when does this happen? Like, how does this translate to our timeline?
So this all happens at the end. So you guys all go to sleep on the first Aurora Borealis night.
Yeah.
When you wake up on the second night, that's when the internet goes.
Okay.
It's happened during the day. You wake up to it happening. It's already been like ongoing for 12 hours. Suffice to say that a lot of people in the human realm are currently panicking. Like flights aren't working properly right now. Like a lot of stuff is getting delayed. Like no one can order from Amazon anymore. Like there's a whole backlog of issues that's going on. Underground here, I mean, you're quite isolated from most of the effects. Most of Kindred kind are. Not if you're Nosferatu. This is probably like hell on earth.
Yeah.
If like all of your computer networks are no longer working anymore. The dark web is still kind of intact because that was never really an internet. That was just more like a cluster of like private servers. So that's still relatively operational if you know where to look. But the general populous internet, yeah, it's gone for the foreseeable.
Okay. So I guess Wally isn't getting a flight then.
No. Wally's not getting a flight.
My God.
Wally's not going anywhere.
Okay.
Wow.
A lot has happened.
What do you mean my contacts in Singapore have been fucking nuked, bro? What are you talking about?
Look, I said to them, pick any they passed the check, so I said, okay, pick a city for me. They could have said London. And I would have had to have come up with a bullshit way to like save you all, but they picked Singapore. So I mean, they could have picked Paris. That would have been far better.
That would have been good. See?
Could you imagine that? The tower just gone.
God. Love that.
Not that the Camarilla would know, because like whoever sees the inner circle, like they could have been dead for like 1,000 years and no one would know.
That's a whole story unto itself.
But no. Marcus has got the night off. Marcus is doing family stuff. He does have to go home every now and again and maintain the charade of his mortal life. So he's gone to do that. So Valerian doesn't have to look after himself. For a night.
This is horrible.
However, it is a new night, which means you do need to rouse check.
Oh, I forgot about Foundry. Yo, my bad. My bad.
No, it's fine.
Oh, wait, this is the wrong one. Wait, fuck.
Wrong Foundry.
Yep. I have multiples now.
Oh, you have multiple Foundries.
Yep.
Okay.
Multiple servers, I mean. There we go.
Failed.
Really? After all that hunger, after all that hunger to depletion.
Didn't work. So when everyone's gone to bed, the previous night, she's gone round to all of the separate places where people are sleeping. And as she's gone there, she's tried to get like a general like feeling for what the energy is in that room from that person. So she's gone to Dom's room first to try and work out if he's still mad at her. And I imagine the energy is still, pretty angry.
There's a lot of residual anger there still.
Yeah. She'll go to Tristan's, and I imagine the residual energy there is probably fear.
Yeah, fear.
I think she'll go towards Marcus, but then realize that he's going to leave. Then she'll go to Valerian's and realize that it's just generally loud. Like, there's a lot of thoughts, there's a lot of like just noise.
True.
And then I think she'll go to wherever Cassiopeia is and try and work out what the vibe there is.
Cass's vibe is confused.
Okay.
There's a Cass is still a bayonet at the end of the day. She is still a Valerian. She is still an Athena. You know, there's a stubbornness there. There's a familial stubbornness. She's been given a lot of information, and she's kind of downplayed it through humor.
Mhm.
But there is a mixture of confusion, fear, sadness in there a bit. But ultimately, yeah, it's just a big well of emotions right now.
Okay, so also quite loud.
Yeah.
I guess if she goes towards Wally, then it'll be quite sad and dejected.
There's some sadness there. There's some dejection. There's also some determination there. Like,
Okay.
almost like purpose.
Okay. I think then with the only person who seems to have a direction of their thoughts that isn't about her, I think she's going to sit in on wherever Wally is resting, and she's just going to be in the room with them whilst they sleep, and potentially like talking sometimes, but knowing that he can't hear her until the next day.
Awesome. Cass and Tristan are the first out. Cass mostly because this is a whole new sleep schedule, so she didn't sleep fantastically. So she's up before sunrise, before sunset, and is spending most of her time just sitting on the table, cursing her phone. She appears she hasn't fully worked out that the internet has gone. And so like Instagram is not reloading, no matter how many times she tries refreshing it.
Okay.
Tristan is awake. He is now wearing his bandana over his third eye, but he's also wearing a beanie over the top to like double cover it. Like he's compressed his afro down into this beanie. And is kind of keeping a distance from most people.
Is there any real food or drink in this place?
Like actual, like
for humans, like consumable food and drink?
no, I don't think so.
Interesting.
I don't think so. So I think like they're gonna have to go and get some.
Yeah. So what time does Cass get up? Would it still be daylight?
Yeah, it'll be daylight. Cass gets up about 4:30, 5.
Okay. Then I think Leto would probably suggest as much to Cass to just be like, well, there's nothing here, so you're gonna have to go get coffee and a breakfast or whatever. And then I guess if she's complaining about the internet not working, then she can't order it in.
Yeah, no, the fact that she can't order it kind of irks her. Doubly because, one, I can't order it because the internet is down, and two, what is this place? Like, how do you put this place on DoorDash? How do you say, like, you know, it's the abandoned tube station under, you know.
Oh, you don't. You have to do it to so there's a place next door that is still active, and you order it to them, and then you go get it.
I hadn't thought of that.
And Marcus can't do anything for you. He's not here.
He wasn't the best of help, was he? What?
If I hear you talk about him like that again, you're out of here.
Oh no! I'll have been kicked out. I'm sure Mum and Mum would love to hear about this.
I don't care what they think.
We both know that's not true.
Are you gonna get breakfast or no?
Well, I can't exactly get breakfast, you know. It's 5 p.m. But it's fine. I will go get some food.
There'll be somewhere. There'll be a bakery.
I'm taking your card, though, Valerian.
I didn't expect you to pay for yourself. Anyways.
Of course not. I promise I'll only get food. Probably.
Sure.
Cass takes the card and starts walking towards the stairs. You also see Tristan go, is it wise to let her out on her own?
Well,
she'll be fine.
We can't do anything about it.
True. I'm sure she'll be fine.
Oh, can you get me a coffee?
What kind of coffee?
It doesn't matter.
A coffee. Okay, I'll get you a coffee.
I look confused at Leto. It's not like you can keep that down. You know that.
Oh, no, I don't drink them.
Oh, it's just for... Okay. Got it. All right. That, So, hold on. So she was cursing at her phone. Why?
Oh, it seems like the internet isn't working properly.
Is that just... it should be fine, normally.
Yeah, I don't think it's localized.
What, so the entirety of London doesn't have internet?
I assume.
That's terrible. All right.
With the internet down, it's quite difficult to work out what anyone else is doing or has.
Okay, well, what? So we're gonna be fucking living like Camarillas? Oh.
Unless you have your own server.
No, I don't. I do not. Marcus is away. Fine. Do you want something?
Like what?
Like blood.
From where?
From the kitchen.
We have people in the kitchen?
We don't have people in the kitchen. No. No, Marcus is usually there and he makes my blood cocktails there. However, he's not here, so I'm going to have to do that myself. Do you want one?
Oh, like the ones from the other night. No, I didn't actually drink it. You know, when we sat down and had our little chat and you have those really nice glasses?
Yes.
Yeah, that don't taste very nice.
To you. I think he'll start walking towards the kitchen and make himself a blood cocktail.
Yeah, Marcus has left instructions.
So funny.
It's been like just like post-it notes with little arrows and little drawings on them.
So funny.
But this is how you make it. And remember to put the lid on the shaker before you try shaking it.
He's definitely done that wrong once, like at least once, and just covered his whole suit with blood.
Yeah, you make your drink. That's a non-issue.
Did Marcus clean the table before he left?
Probably.
Yeah, Marcus cleaned the table. Marcus cleaned everything. He definitely went to sleep the latest out of everyone, just because of the sheer cleaning that had to be done. You know, two blood bags, one half drunken salubri, and a bit of human blood on the floor. God. You know.
All right. Yeah, I think Valerian comes walking back out, and he just sits on his seat. And he just goes, "So not a bagged blood drinker?"
No, they don't. They're just kind of flat.
Interesting. Where do you get your food?
Recently, your sister.
Yeah. Where else?
Oh, so London is a very highly populated city. There's a lot of people, and a lot of people are full of a lot of blood.
You suck. All right, cool. I'm just asking where you hunt, all right?
Oh, here, there, anywhere, really.
All right. And any specifics?
No.
All right.
If I get hungry, I go find some food.
All right.
It takes about 20 minutes.
So awkward. You were right. It's so awkward.
It is. I told you. Valerian and Lita only have 2 stages. Awkward or fucking. There's no other, okay, between these two. Cass comes back out 20 minutes later with a bag full of what can only be described as not food, but snacks. It's like a child at a sleepover. So just come back with like marshmallows and like bits of like chocolate chocolate bonbons. There's like lots of like weird confectionery bits. And she has a coffee for Leto. And you know it's for Leto because it has Leto written on the cup, but above the E is like a heart. However, what you notice about the cup The ink on the heart is a different color to the pen that wrote the name.
She's so dumb.
Does this change the pronunciation?
It does if you want it to.
What I was just thinking, in cafe, it has the.
I never really understood why it had that myself. I know it's because it's a French word, but who learns French?
It's because it elongates the E instead of the other way where it shortens it.
See, I knew Mr. Stuffy Man over here would know. Anyway,
he comes over. He comes over and he looks in that bag. He goes, "You bought me what?"
She bought you a newspaper.
That's dumb. Why?
Well, I figured you'd want to know, being Mr. Big Important Mr. London, that it's not just my phone that's not working.
He rips it out of her hands, and then he looks in the bag and he goes, "Last time I ate something, this doesn't look like a full meal."
Well, considering that I'm the only one in the family now that eats food, I think I get to decide what food is.
I think you don't. I think I get to say that this does not look like breakfast, lunch, dinner, seconds, or 11sies, or whatever the fuck.
You're not the boss of me.
I think I am when you're here. I think you're supposed to eat a full meal.
This will keep me over for the night, and then tomorrow I'll eat properly.
You're
I don't think it will. You've lost a lot of blood.
Okay, maybe it won't, but it's fine. I'll just go sleep.
Oh my god, you're
You
terrible.
should drink orange juice.
Does that make my blood taste orange when people drink it?
No, but it
Hmm.
helps with it helps with the effects.
Okay.
Valerian goes to sit down, and he begrudgingly folds that goddamn newspaper open. He hates newspapers. Here's the thing. He hates newspapers. He hates knowing about them and knowing they exist, and he doesn't like them, and he doesn't like reading the news or knowing about it. He likes his own little
ignorance.
world, and that's it. Exactly. He loves ignorance. And so he begrudgingly folds open that newspaper to read about this internet.
Yeah, the headline essentially is just global internet crash. For a newspaper, this is amazing.
Yes,
all of a sudden, newspapers are relevant again. People have to buy newspapers now that there's no internet.
Is it an actual newspaper, or is it just the Metro?
It's an actual newspaper. She actually paid for it. I mean, it was Valerian's money, so it's going to be a newspaper.
Stupid.
I'm debating whether it's the Times or the Telegraph. Both are equally bad.
Telegraph. Telegraph.
The
Telegraph Valerian, it's Telegraph.
Yeah. To be fair, the Telegraph is probably blaming it on some sort of foreign entity.
True.
It's their fault there's no internet.
Stupid.
Because that's just what they do. But yeah, apparently nearly at the stroke of midnight, nearly every single major internet service provider crashed simultaneously.
Says here it's global.
Do you think it's to do with the dreaming?
I don't see why it would, but
It's a bit of a coincidence, isn't it?
I guess you're right. Yeah, he starts leafing through the next of it. the rest of it.
Hmm.
He's reading he's reading headlines mostly. He's not like actually fucking taking the time. He's just reading what's most interesting or what catches his eye most. So big letters.
Yeah, the big letters and the pictures, not the small
yes,
print.
Exactly.
The second page in is all about the strange aurora borealis over London, and how it's like really rare that it's this far south.
Yeah, he's like,
this long.
I need fucking. He goes to the next page. He's like, I know about this.
Yeah, the rest of it is just boring human stuff. I mean, if you bought stocks, seeing your stocks would be pretty useless right now.
Well, he's interested in that. If there's anything about that on these pages.
Yeah, well, the problem is with no internet, there's no stock exchanges anymore, which means no one can value stock, which means global finance. Yeah, global finance is now useless. So if most of your money is tied up in that kind of stuff, you technically don't have any money right now.
Fuck.
You can't even sell them. You happen to
my shareholders off my blood vending machines, bro. God.
I mean, you think you have it bad? You know your mother keeps a good chunk of like security money in stocks and bonds.
That's actually gonna make him go. That actually brings a slight smile to his face, but also, fuck.
Yeah, Athena keeps a lot of her reserve emergency funds in those kind of like stocks that can be like quickly sold in the global market if she needs to like radically create money. But
it's called whitewashing. It's called laundering your fucking money.
But yeah, none of that's on now. The global finance industry's gone.
That's terrible. All right. Well, interesting things. Is there nothing about Singapore in the newspaper?
No, because there's.
It's the human newspaper. It's not the vampire newspaper.
Yeah, no. If there was a vampire newspaper, that would be quite hilarious.
That would be good.
No, nothing yet. I mean, also remember, Kindred Herald.
Oh my God. Stupid.
Without like internet, there's no global communication. If it happened last night, now it would have to travel by a courier / snail mail all the way to, or possibly through like phone communication networks. It wouldn't be instantaneous anymore. Information just got an awful lot slower.
All right. Well, at least telephone communication works. So texting works. and calling someone should be fine.
Yes.
So that black phone is fucking useful.
That black phone is God damn it. This way, the mobile phone operators are about to make a killing in roaming charges for international phone calls.
For sure.
Now that there's no WhatsApp that you can just use to like call people for free internationally.
Well, I got the damn landline, bitch. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that costs a fortune. So, okay. Well, yeah, Valerian's just like, well, there goes my money for a second there. But let's just hope that things come back up soon.
Really? Are you that poor?
I'm really not. The fact that you just went shopping off of my money should tell you so.
I mean, I did put your card in the machine to get a balance reading.
All right.
Just because I was curious. It said nothing because it couldn't get to the service to tell me how much money you had.
Good.
I don't think the banks know how much money they have right now.
Well,
so I'm taking that as it's free money.
Yeah, this is the perfect time to commit fraud, but
That's
So
a
when
good
do we
point.
start?
We don't.
None of the card machines would work.
Yes.
No, I had to draw it out. They've rigged, like, a lot of the ATMs have had their, like, balance checking things removed from them temporarily, so that people can still get physical cash out. It's quite ironic, 'cause I've never touched physical money before. Like, unless until I was a kid. Like,
God, I forgot. You are so tiny. You are just a baby.
I mean, I am at university. Like, I'm not a baby.
No, you're a baby.
What are you studying?
Art, bit of philosophy. You know, all the exotic subjects. Because I'm a daughter to a very powerful couple. So
Is how to be a TikTok star part of that?
no, I learned that for free.
How sad.
Which I wouldn't. I have a lot. I did set trends. Okay, just because I can't do it right now because my phone won't fucking connect to anything.
I'm looking for who asked.
And I think I'm going to go withdraw more money from your account.
Oh no.
I wonder if I can type in 1000000000 and see what happens.
Wow. You've got yourself £1 million, I guess.
God, you're so stuffy.
Thanks.
At least Lito's got her cool coffee.
She can't even drink that thing.
Smells nice though.
Well, yeah, I asked them to put the pumpkin spice thing in it. And like 3 extra shots of espresso. You struck me as the kind of person who needs like 15 milligrams of caffeine to get up in the morning.
Yeah.
That is true. You do strike as that kind of person.
It's a very cultivated look.
While you're chatting away, your black phone rings, Valerian.
Spotlight turns on. God damn it. I feel like whenever the black phone rings, everyone looks over. I feel like that's the tea. And then I think Cassiopeia is like, what?
It's just everyone turns to look, and then she's just there in between, going, "What are we looking at? Like, what's so important?"
Yeah, so Valerian.
I can't stop thinking about it as the the phone from Powerpuff Girls.
No, that's not it. It's a very moody phone. Thank you.
No, I know. It's just that because it goes off so rarely.
That's true. That is true.
We're going to install a little red light in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, he'll get up rather quickly. Sits down. Yeah, spotlight turns on. He picks up that thing. Valerian speaking.
Hi, yes, Valerian. This is Edgar. Nice to speak to you again.
Above table, who's this?
Lord Chancellor Edgar, the head of the Kingdom of Roses, the head of the
shit.
Changelings.
Okay. Yep, my bad. Forgot his name was Edgar.
Yeah.
Since I just referred to him
as Lord
Chancellor. Yeah, so Valerian just goes, Lord Chancellor, how nice to speak with you.
Yeah. Fun. I'm sure you've seen the
headlines. Yes.
Yeah, the global communication problem. Not a problem. Just a slight side effect of some of the stuff that's been going on.
Not a problem to you, of course.
Oh no, it's causing us a lot of problems. it turns out it's very hard to harvest glamour in the internet age if there's no internet. So glamour is becoming a little bit of a problem again. But that's fine. I need to come and see you. I just wanted to check you were in first.
Why?
I have some news to deliver. I'd rather not do it over the phone. It seems very insincere.
Fine. When will you arrive?
An hour?
Good.
I just have some business to finish up.
Of course, I completely understand. I will see you in an hour, Lord Chancellor.
Thank you. Oh, God. It's just seems like put the phone down. You don't need to be a genius to work out that there's a hint of nervousness in the back of his voice.
Yeah, of course.
He's got something to say that he doesn't quite think he's going to enjoy saying.
Yeah, Valerian stands up, walks over to the table. He goes, well, that was the Lord Chancellor, and he is coming over in an hour. Cassiopeia, I don't want you at this conversation.
What's a Lord Chancellor?
None of your business. That's what it is.
Is it like the king or something?
I said none of your business.
These bonbons are really nice. Fine,
So,
I get it. It's fine. I won't be here. I won't cause a diplomatic incident. It's fine.
I don't trust you, however, fine. Good.
It's fine. I'll tell you
do.
what. Leto can babysit me.
If she wants.
We can go in Leto's carriage and she can babysit me.
He looks at Leto only.
Yeah?
Yes?
Sure.
Good. Don't eat her.
I mean, if she wants to. I mean, how am I? I'm
shut up.
powerless to stop.
Well, she's only just recently been fed from, so it's probably not a smart decision to feed again.
Yes. However, you don't always make smart decisions, do you?
I'm usually quite smart.
Interesting observation. All right, well, he'll be here in an hour, just so you know.
So who is a Lord Chancellor again?
Not your business.
Okay, I get it. You don't want to share information because you think information is power and you think it has something over me, just like you did when we were younger.
Yes, and?
You didn't win all those games, Valerian. Sometimes I did. So I'm going to have to pick about whether I want to stay like this or be like you.
Well, not like me.
No, I wouldn't wear a suit that tacky. But, you know.
And I wouldn't wear a haircut like that.
You know I can pull this off. So don't even
terrible.
try and say I can't.
No, you can't.
Look. How does it work? Like, the process of, like, becoming one?
You get bit. You drink blood. You die. You reconstitute. Your organs get excreted from your body. You become cold. Your heartbeat stops. You don't breathe. That's it.
Okay. It's just that I've heard you lot all mention each other by other names, like group names. That like
Yes,
sounds
clans.
like it's important. That's the word. Like,
Mhm.
what does that mean? Do you get to pick it?
Well,
Is there a clan about being sexy? Because if there is, I totally could hammer that one down.
sadly there is.
Wow. Okay, so vampirism might be my thing.
I don't think it will be, but all right. Yes, clans are interesting. It's no, you don't get to pick usually. Usually the person who, as we call it, sires you, has a clan, and you become that clan when you are sired.
Okay, so whoever my sire is, that's important.
Well, yes, it means that is the clan you will be for forever. Yes. And it's I guess it is up to you to choose. However, I will not sire you. And
I wouldn't
there
want
aren't.
you to. That sounds like incest.
All right. There aren't a lot of people I would trust siring you.
Is there like a big book that like explains all these clans? Preferably in
No.
picture book form.
No.
Okay. I will. Do you know what? It's fine. I will. He's like she's looking around and she locks eyes with Tristan for a second. Do you know what? It's fine. I am gonna go and hang around with that poor guy who nearly got drunk to death, and we can bond over our shared near deaths at the hands of Leto for a bit. And maybe he can educate me a little bit. Because he's new, right? Like, he's gone through all the new stuff, like, fairly recently.
I'm not sure how much information Tristan has.
I mean, it's more than what I've got. Besides,
True.
you've done a wonderful job, Leto.
Of
Opening my eyes.
Well, I have many documents and research if you want to know more.
Oh, they'll do then. I will go steal them.
I'd rather you didn't steal them.
I meant metaphorically. I wouldn't steal your stuff. Valerian stuff, I'll steal in an instant. But
Of course.
your stuff, no, that's your stuff.
Well, I can go over it with you.
If you want. I just didn't know. I didn't know whether you wanted to stay here and terrorize. Work with Valerian for a bit.
I don't know this Chancellor. It's nothing.
Oh,
to do
good.
with me.
We can be ignorant together.
Just go. Whatever you're doing, I don't care. Go.
You
Please.
see, she skips up to you and just kisses you on the cheek slightly, Valerian.
Ugh.
Just like, don't worry, we'll behave. A bit.
No, you won't.
As like, she comes over to Leto and just kind of like tries to like wrap her arm inside Leto so that like they're chained together. Like, okay, then let's go do some research. Normally I'd Google things, but phone. Can't do that right now. Plus, I get a suspicion that Googling vampires will just give me Twilight. Do we sparkle in sunlight?
No.
Who's we?
I mean, you.
Well, we don't go into sunlight. So if by sparkle you mean fire and turn to ash, then...
No, I don't want to be turned to ash. I can't annoy Valerian if I'm turned into ash. And while I love my brother dearly, I do love annoying him more. See? And he loves it too.
Well, I can go over all the clans that are particularly annoying to Valerian if you like.
Wait, there's clans that annoy him?
I mean, most things annoy him, but...
Right, we'll go do that then. We're going to find a clan that will annoy him for the rest of eternity.
Keep it down in there.
Don't worry, I won't moan too loudly.
Ew.
As Cass sort of drags Leto away, Tristan kind of looks at Valerian for a moment. It's like, are you sure that's wise? Like, leaving those two together?
I don't think you should be talking to me about wiseness, sir.
Whoa. Look, I'm just saying that Leto is a bit unhinged.
She'll be fine.
Okay, I mean, if we get a new Malkavian child, that's on you.
We won't.
Can you be 100% sure of that?
Yes.
Then you have a lot more faith in Leto than I do. Bear in mind that I have a chunk of my neck still missing.
Yes, indeed. That is why I have more faith in Leto than you do. You're traumatized. I'm not. Go to your cabin.
Aye, aye, Captain. And Tristan sort of sleuths off to his cabin. Is there anything Valerian wants to do while he's waiting?
I think he'll make another 2 blood cocktails, one for him and one for the Lord Chancellor, even though he knows the Lord Chancellor doesn't drink blood. Just out of politeness, and also out of maybe setting up a threatening aura.
You hear a knock come from upstairs. Normally Marcus would answer. There is no
shit.
Marcus.
Yeah. I guess he's going up there and opening the door.
You see this. I mean, I don't think you've ever met the Lord Chancellor. I think even ever spoke via phone.
Yeah.
You see this quite rotund male, about 5'7", very sort of like scraggly brown hair. He's wearing a kind of black waistcoat, white shirt, black tie, and like black trousers. He has an entourage with him. There's like 4 other people with him. They're all wearing almost complete black as well. You can give me... You can give me wits awareness.
Sure.
Actually, no, wits insight.
3 successes.
3 successes. The way these people are dressed and is not how they're normally dressed. There's a certain level of discomfort in the fact that they're wearing these clothes. And there seems to be a aura of sadness, almost. Around them.
Valerian opens the door, sees all this. His brow furrows. And he goes, "Oh, Chancellor. I would say it's nice to meet you, however. It seems this is not a nice meeting. Your entourage can wait outside."
I'd rather they come in. No offense. They've kind of been stuck to me for a while. I'll explain in a minute. Trust me.
Fine.
They are young changelings. I think one vampire is probably more than enough to deal with them if they go wrong, and I'm pretty sure that you have half an army down there.
I don't, as a matter of fact. Fine. Entree. He steps aside and closes the door a little more loudly behind them than normal.
You see one of the entourage jump at the door slam. You got to bear in mind.
Does he look back at all?
He doesn't look back. The Chancellor is relatively composed. What you can notice is every now and again, one of them goes to like gag slightly. Obviously, this is like pure banality for them. This is not a nice environment for them to be in for very long.
Yes.
One of the reasons why he might have chosen younger changelings is younger changelings aren't normally as banal as their elders. So they can spend more time in these places before they get affected by it.
I feel like the travel down the staircase is pretty significant since they're probably pretty slow and Valerian is last. And so the whole time, Valerian is taking his time. Like he doesn't feel rushed and he doesn't seem irritated by the fact that they are slow. But they do the whole time hear Valerian go sort of just like he's humming. He's almost amused at the fact that they are maybe a little terrified.
Terrified is putting it lightly. A lot of the entourage is absolutely shit scared. One changeling tradition during execution is that the executioners the people being executed wear all black. So some of these are now starting to think, "Oh God, am I about to be executed? And now they're going to use a vampire to kill me." So there is a slight thought in the back of their mind, like, is this my death? Is this how I meet Chrysalis? The Chancellor eventually reaches the bottom, walks out into the main room, looks around. I honestly thought you'd have something more ornate based on how you sounded on the phone.
Well, that isn't a compliment.
I mean, I get you're underground and whatnot, and I don't mean that to be like disrespectful. The image I had of Valerian Bayonet is opulence and grandeur and not a nice looking and well tiled and like well presented abandoned tube section, but I don't know. The old owners of London were very opulent.
He slowly walks over to his chair, and of course, the second blood cocktail has been placed on the opposite end, signaling where he should sit. And once he gets to his chair, he sharply turns around and he goes, "So my chandelier isn't opulent enough?"
I mean, it's just on its own, isn't it, really? I don't know. Maybe I should get you something as a peace offering. Anyway, I suppose I should sit down and we should talk.
You should.
He sits down on his chair, looks across the table, realizes, Valerian's got the big throne. And there's a moment where he wants to correct Valerian and be like, hey, that's where I should be sitting. And then has to remind himself that he's not in his own domain anymore. Therefore, he's not the one sitting in the big chair. He looks at the blood cocktail, sniffs it, sort of recoils slightly. But then takes a breath, pinches his nose, and downs the cocktail. He coughs immediately after swallowing it. And like a small little smidge of blood comes at the corner of his mouth slightly. Oh,
Valerian just
that's something.
I'm impressed, Lord Chancellor.
Well, it would be rude for me not to take a gift, even if that gift is the blood of mortals. Not quite sure I agree with you on the whole, drinking mortal blood thing, but I suppose we do take creativity from mortals, so I guess we are vampires of a different kind.
Yes, indeed. He takes a small sip and savors it. It looks like he's savoring it.
So, I guess you know about the mirrors and the mission to destroy them.
Well, yes, I have known.
I'm very angry, personally. A lot of this happened behind my back. And Miss Lady Gwendolyn is going to have to answer for a lot of this. I was quite happy to leave these mirrors just happily bouncing around the world, staying out of anyone's hands. But what is done is done. They succeeded. The mirrors are no more. They did inadvertently create a new mirror, which is even more powerful than any of the ones ever done before, but that one's now under lock and key. That one is staying in the dreaming, and it is never leaving. We have locked it up deep in Arcadia so that nobody can ever get to it. And besides, it doesn't have the whole vampiric dominate thing on it anymore. That was just a cover story to get you lot interested in them.
Interesting.
Yeah, it turns out their creator didn't want to use them for their intended purpose, and so gave them vampiric magic qualities, then donated them to vampires in the vain hope that you lot would guard them, and no changeling would ever go near a vampire. But that kind of proved a moot point, didn't it?
He sees Valerian looking off. Valerian, not off as in weird, as in off to the side. Valerian looks bored. And he goes, I'm sorry, Lord Chancellor, but there are some things that I have to deal with. Would you mind getting to the point?
I'm sorry. You know about a vampire that decided to go with the group?
Altair.
Yes, I believe that was his name.
Yes.
Altair didn't make it back. The crew came back yesterday without Altair or his friend. I am terribly sorry. From what we can gather, they were quite instrumental in helping to deliver our Fae to their final point.
Good. However, I did expect this.
I didn't know how much you knew. So
I didn't know anything, and it is good that you have come to tell me this. However, I did not expect him to come back at any point, even if he did live.
we still think he's alive in there.
Then he is where he wants to be.
We're already sending out search parties. I mean, the dreaming is vast. It could take years, if not decades.
Of course. And it would be amazing if you could bring him back, yes. However, I honestly feel like he doesn't want to be. He had an infatuation with glamour, you know.
Yes, I did get the accounts of how he became enamored, obsessed with glamour. Which is what brings me to my next point. With the breach sealed above London, changelings are going to start coming back here. I know we had our old agreement, but I can't abide by those terms anymore. I don't want to start a war party. You are gonna have to give up some of London. This is me politely willing to negotiate a chunk. My next move won't be polite. Changelings have killed vampires before. But I don't want it to come to that. Not especially since we have a bit of a delicate political situation on our hands in the Fey world at the moment.
Your question wasn't very polite. And honestly, I am offended. I had no intention of not allowing Faye into my London again. I will not be giving up a part of London. I hope you understand. London is mine and will forever be. Until the day I die. So, we will have a understanding. See, the Fae have been in London before. Hell, they broke into this here Acropolis.
Yes, I did hear about that.
Yes. And you haven't apologized for it either.
I don't think I want to anymore.
Interesting. So, the changelings will be allowed back, yes. This agreement that we had settled upon back then was a sign of greed, and since then I've grown. I've seen what changelings can do and who they are. And they resemble the good for London. So yes, we will be coexisting. I will make sure there is a part where they can live freely, where vampires will not be allowed to go. However, I will not make this a forbidden rule. If there is a vampire in your area, or if there is a fae in mine, we will not be going to war. As you said.
No, I don't want that. As much as you might seem, or might think that I might. You forget who used to rule London before you. You used to have a really nice apartment down like old Millbank. That's where we used to run things. The Shard hadn't been finished yet. That's where we were gonna move into. But that clearly went pear-shaped when the Camarilla brought it out from under us. A stupid global financial crisis. I'll admit, I have a bit of resentment seeing my precious London reduced to a vampire bastion. It does rub me the wrong way a little bit, but it doesn't matter, because I have bigger and better things to move on to. I'm just tying up loose ends on my part. I'm not going to be here much longer. I don't know how much you know about Changing Kind, but the group that Altair was helping, they found a way to open up the door to our ancestral home, the place that we were evicted out of. There is a whole world of pure glamour, and everything else is there waiting to be claimed. And now every noble and the entirety of the Autumn world is about to descend on that place and call it their own. The Fae are probably heading for a massive and bloody war over paradise, ironically. But I happen to have the 3 people who discovered it, which gives me a massive leg up. And they're all there talking about making it a democracy and letting everyone vote over who should go. And it's really, really cute. and I'll let them have it. Because I can't do anything against them because they're heroes. Then I'm just going to move in anyway. I'll just make everyone like me. And then I'll just move into Arcadia and all this stupid nonsense of vampires and humans and autumn world shit will no longer be my problem. I'm just making sure that the poor unfortunate souls that get left behind have somewhere to be. A parting gift.
I don't see how this had anything to do with me or London. I don't see why you told me this information, since the only thing it does is make me want to eat you.
Why do you find me insufferable?
I find you a pest.
You see, he gets up, dusts his trousers, and then goes, well, in which case, Valerian, I would advise looking in a mirror. If you still have one left, that is.
Valerian gets up, and he dusts off his trousers. He downs his cocktail, and he goes, no. Gladly, those mirrors were destroyed by a hero. Hey, Hedge. Could I leap across the table?
Of course you can leap across the table.
Awesome. Because Valerian will absolutely use the chair to kick off.
Yeah.
And then use the table again to kick off. And launch in his direction.
Yeah, you can kick off and launch straight towards him. What do you want to do?
Amazing. I want to grab him and bite him.
Yeah,
you Blue, you did that motion, and it made me think of Donkey Kong, but the alligators who make fucking who go.
Give me strength and athletics, or strength and brawl, whichever one's you're better. You're trying to grab him.
Terrible. So I'll go with brawl then. They're
you
both
need to have more than 3 successes.
I don't think I can do that in any way. Is there
double 10 would get at you.
Yeah. What does blood surge do again? What does that do? Does that give you an extra dice, Coach Mark?
I think it does. He says it would be useful if you had the book open, wouldn't it, Hedge?
Do you know, Blue? No? Okay.
Give me a minute. I will scroll to the top of the book. The worst formatted book in the history of books.
True.
All 431 pages of mostly nonsense. Let's have a look. Blood potency. Blood bond. I want to say blood surge. I want to say off the top of my head it does give you. You have to rouse check, and I want to say it gives you an additional die.
Yeah, it says they're able to buff one attribute stat for one single roll of the dice by making a rouse check.
Okay.
There you go.
So you get an extra dot. So you get an extra dice. Okay.
Yeah. So if you rouse check, then you can add a. Because what's your blood potency? 1, isn't it?
That's a good question. Yes, it is.
Add 2 die.
Oh, okay.
According to the table.
No, not athletics. Brawl, strength. And then blood surge. Confirm. God damn it.
You could willpower that one extra dice.
Yeah, I will. Can I? Oh, what was it? Okay, doesn't matter. Willpower 1. God damn it. It's fine.
Yeah, he's a little too prepared. I mean, he's quite a big man. So as you go for him, he's able to kind of like knock you to the side. I need you to make a I was going to say dexterity athletics. That's even worse for you. Give me
what you think is best, and even if the roll is bad, don't worry about it.
It would be dexterity athletics, but you would need to beat a 2. Which I think is actually impossible.
So yeah, that is impossible. So I fail. That's fine.
Yeah, you get knocked, like pushed off. You see one of these other changelings just move their hand around, and you just feel a cone of wind hit you and knock you over the table.
Amazing.
As you go back, at that point, Leto, you can hear this now. You can hear commotion. No.
She hears Valerian go, Leto, in here.
Cool. How long has it been?
It's been about 30 odd minutes. You've been sitting there with poor Cass, going over these clans.
So this clan is this, and this clan is this.
We're Toido and Adventure love each other very much. They have a blood wedding.
Oh my god.
Cool. In which case, yeah, I guess she'll make her way into the room.
As you come in, you notice that Edgar is like retreating backwards towards the door with his 4 little changing companions kind of building a wall between him and you.
Interesting.
You just couldn't help yourself, could you, Valerian?
I think she's going to walk in and see a lot of scurrying changelings and just be like, and what are we doing in here?
Valerian looks at you and he goes, there is a fraudulent king in my court.
Interesting. And what does the king have to say?
The king has to say that he will take over paradise by himself and not care about any type of democracy or what goes on.
And the king's defense?
Apparently I'm a very bad person. Which is a bit rich coming from a vampire. I won't take ethics and moral lessons from vampires.
Who will you take them from?
That's not the point.
What is the point you're making?
The point that I was making is that none of this, as of soon, will be my concern. In all honesty, I don't care what happens to London. I don't care what happens to changelings here. These 4 here could die tonight for all I care.
I thought you were here for a discussion.
Yeah, I had my discussion. My discussion was simply to tell Valerian that there will now be a part of London where changelings will inhabit, and if he tries anything to stop that, I will kill him. But
That's
aside from that,
not much of a discussion. That seems like more of a demand.
admittedly, I use discussion a bit liberally. It admittedly probably is more of a demand, but
Whilst having this conversation
Mhm.
with him, she's using mesmerize. And she's just going to say, well, that's very interesting. How about we do have a proper discussion? Come here.
Ooh, is there a resist roll for mesmerize?
Yes.
What would it
It's
normally be?
intelligence plus resolve.
Which ironically, Edgar does actually have. It's only two. It's one of the very few stats actually carries across. Ooh. We're going to ignore the number of ones on that. Yeah, he fully obeys that command.
I haven't even rolled. What did he roll?
Hey, first way, he didn't roll a single success.
All you have to do is a success.
You just have to get a success. I mean, to be fair, I think even getting no successes would still count as a success. I'm pretty sure it's meets his beats. And 0 meets 0.
Well, I got 4 successes.
Yeah, no, there was no way Edgar was. Edgar does not have a high resolve stat. He's quite fickle.
So yeah, so she says, "Come here, sit down."
He does that. He goes over. He sits down to where Leto says.
She's going to look over to the other 4.
Mhm.
And what are your thoughts on this? He just said he doesn't care if you live or die.
He cares in his own way.
Well, he's made it quite clear he doesn't.
No. I don't know what to think. I just do what I'm told.
Well, now's your opportunity to start testing out some thought processes.
If the Lord Chancellor dies tonight, that's gonna cause problems.
Well, he's caused problems to me.
Problems that we can fix, I'm sure.
What about the situation of taking over in your homeland?
Edgar has ideas above his station. Do you know why he doesn't have the title King of the Kingdom of Roses? It's because he's not from noble blood. He is a commoner. He is a commoner king. That's why he has the title Lord Chancellor.
How amusing.
I'm actually surprised he's lived this long. His Privy Council, people like Lady Gwendolyn, who all advise him, are all nobles themselves. He literally surrounded himself with people who wanted his job. So there's been a bit of a... Mr. Edgar is paranoid that at any one given time, the council might try and overthrow him. Hence why he arrested Lady Gwendolyn at the drop of a hat. I would rather us not leave with bloodshed. I know he can be a bit rash, but to him, this is his way out. If he gets himself to Arcadia, then no privy council, no nobles telling him what to do.
This is not my homeland. However, I do have quite a few principles in this regard, and a dictatorship is not on the list.
Yes, indeed. I step closer.
Then what would you have us do?
Well, you said something about diplomacy.
I mean, if you can get Edgar to agree to that, then...
What if Edgar's not there?
If Edgar's not there, it causes a power problem. Creates a power
Who?
vacuum.
Then who will take it?
I mean, take your pick of the Privy Council. It's whichever one's left over. I mean, Gwendolyn would have been my first choice, but she's just as bad as Edgar.
And that is where democracy sets in.
I mean, if you want to kill him, I have a backup plan.
I don't want to, however, he's left me little choice.
Then maybe us four should take our leave.
I feel like you should be able to detain this man.
We can if you want, but
It's not
no
about-
if we did.
Not about that. There's a lot of what do they want? What does he want? What does she want? And if there's going to be some form of democracy here, then you all need to have an opinion. So you appear to be cognitive enough to realize there are two options here. Either you leave with him and are able to work something out, or you leave without him. But can you work something out in the second option?
Yes.
Do you want to?
I'm not gonna lie, Edgar does rub me the wrong way, and it would be kind of nice to turn around and just be like, hey, he's not our problem anymore. But that does also kind of feel like we're dumping him on you. And I get the impression that we've dumped a lot on you.
Well, yes, you've already dumped him on us. That's why I'm here. That's why he sat down next to me.
We can take him. We'll deal with him internally. This is a matter you shouldn't have been dragged into. For that, I apologize.
Lito's going to look at Valerian. Thoughts?
No, I think you've summed it up quite succinctly.
She's going to crouch down in front of Edgar, who is sat on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to pat him on the head and say, now, be a good boy and listen to what your people have to say. And when the subject of diplomacy comes up, you will agree to work with them diplomatically. No dictatorship.
Fine.
It's not a choice.
Can I go?
I don't know. Valerian?
Valerian walks over. Edgar only being able to see his shoes. And he goes, "Stand."
He gets up.
He then bows down to him, looks him in the eye, and goes, "This is what happens when you try to fuck with me. Understood?"
Understood.
Leave.
He gets up, walks back to his compatriots. And what happens next happens very quickly. He reaches his compatriots and then all of a sudden hunches over, coughs, and I think Leto probably spots it first, because Leto being the relatively more observant one out of the group. You notice out of the bottom of his back, you can see a blade.
Okay. Above table, the comment about diplomacy is all part of the implantation of manipulation.
He falls to the ground. After one of the four stabbed him. Not with any ordinary knife. With a knife made out of cold iron. It's the sunlight equivalent to changelings. If you are killed by cold iron, you don't get to reincarnate. That doesn't happen. Your fairy soul dies forever. It is a cardinal sin up there with diablerie.
Leto's laughing. And then just kind of stood there like, why didn't you just say that in the first place and I wouldn't have wasted my time?
Because we hadn't considered it till you mentioned it.
But then you continued to
We need
say
them
that you
over
would've-
here. Like, we can't give the ruse away. Now, can you do me a favor? And you sort of see that they're gonna like wrap the weapon up and like they're being really careful not to hold or touch the blade. They kind of put it on the table. I know it's a big ass, but you get rid of that because us touching it is a bit.
No.
We just tried to do you a favor.
It was kind of poetic that we did it. However, my friend needs to do one last thing. You see his friend is hunched over Edgar, and you can sort of see from your perspective, it's like energy is being pulled away from Edgar into this person, and then in a small flash of light, they take on the appearance of Edgar. Okay, it feels weird. I feel like I had a lot. I've put weight on, which is kind of weird. I'm not used to being this big. Thank you. again, I do apologize. I'm sorry that you got pulled into our little coup. That wasn't the plan. We actually planned to kill him much later on, but the opportunity came up.
Valerian steps closer and he takes the blade off the table and he pushes it into one of their hands, and he goes, "I will have nothing to do with this."
Okay, we'll get rid of that. Just keep the cover on it. Just, just careful. Edgar was right. No, sorry, I am right. I am Edgar now. Okay, I was right. I am needed. If I'm not around, things fall apart in the kingdom. But no one has to know that I'm not the original Edgar. So we're just going to go about our business. And I'm going to continue doing all the things that Edgar was supposed to be doing, rather than worrying about Arcadian nonsense. Besides, we have nobles to round up. They're all being pain in the asses. All talking about, hey, we want power this. Anyway, that's none of your business, and I'm sorry for dragging you into it. Edgar legitimately wanted to come and just apologize for Altair. Altair is a pseudo-hero now in Changeling kind, and that's kind of weird saying that a vampire is a hero, and that's causing its own little problems in society. But please don't worry about that. As for the whole London thing, I mean, that's up to you. If you want to allow space for some freeholds, I mean, we're not going to say no. We could definitely do with the extra space. Cambridge is becoming a little bit too tight. But
leave.
Okay, no, that's good. That's fine by me. I'm technically in charge now. Okay. I'm gonna need to get a new worldview on politics. I'm gonna go read some books. Books have always helped me in the past.
Goodbye.
Good. Okay. Goodbye. Valerian and other person. Yeah. Can someone get the knife and just don't put it near me. And they file out.
Do they leave the body?
The
The body has been absorbed.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The body disintegrates.
At least that was my understanding.
Yeah. It disintegrates.
Slurps up.
Yep. Edgar is now going to go and read political philosophy and discover communism. That is what he goes and does.
Thank God.
And yeah, Edgar starts a communist revolution. Fake Edgar starts a communist revolution in the Changeling world.
Valerian turns around to Leto. What?
I don't.
This is the first time you've seen Valerian laugh in quite some time. Yeah. You know what? Sometimes I wish I had your thinking skills.
Interesting, because earlier you were making a little aside to suggest that I make stupid decisions.
I revoke my statement. And I
see.
apologize.
Well, as delighted as I am to have been brought into this conversation in regards to how the changelings do things, and I do think it's gone definitely in a better direction now, why
An interesting one, for sure.
did you call for me?
Because I felt outnumbered. There were 5 of them, 1 of me.
But they're just milklings.
Sure, but they were doing their magic, and I felt small, all right? I felt small in number. Why are you laughing?
Well, I'm wondering if you're getting a little rusty, that's all. Normally, you used to be so guns blazing.
Well, I was just there.
And then you called for me.
Because I felt a disadvantage.
Do you even have one of your guns on you?
No. That's why. I didn't have my gun on me. I was deduced to hand-to-hand combat, maybe fangs.
You knew that they were coming.
I thought this
You
was
were
going to be a...
prepared.
I thought
Or at
this
least
was
you
going
should
to
have
be
been.
a peaceful discussion. Don't laugh.
You're slipping. Has Cassiopeia distracted you that much?
For her, I should pack an extra gun, to be honest. I think she has distracted me, yes. What?
Well,
Well, what? She's
what's the
distracted me.
solution?
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
You can't stay this. You just had a diplomatic meeting with, what was he, a baron, a duke, or something?
Lord Chancellor.
Right, a Lord Chancellor, a not
Whatever
king.
that title might mean.
You had a diplomatic meeting that was pre-planned, admittedly a little late minute, but you had time, and you came into it unprepared. By the looks of it, they were wasting your time. And then when you made decisive action, it failed.
Well, what I should have done is your approach. And I'm not like that anymore. I just go for the fangs immediately. It's stupid. I could have just as well used a mesmerize or a whatever the fuck. I could have done anything else.
You do the cloudy, dark feeling thing. I like that one. That's my favorite.
You do? I expected something else, all right? I expected a proper discussion between lords. A respectful way of doing business.
That always comes with a power play. That always comes with being the bigger dog, the scarier dog.
And that's how I went in, too. I had a blood cocktail for him, for God's sake. I had mortal blood on the table for him as a threat. I had circled around them like a shark.
And yet
it failed, as you can see. I just sometimes wish I had your mind. Because of course, the immediate course of action is a mesmerize or maybe even a cloud memory. Just to make them forget they're even here.
You're not okay.
What makes you say that?
Well, that was quite the slip up, considering they're just changed things. And you're talking to me like this. You don't want my mind, Valerian. You know you don't.
True. I don't. It's just the course of thinking is what I miss.
Your head's too loud. And you don't have a direction. And it's making you slip up. Which is making your head even louder, which is making you slip up more.
How do I silence it? Do you know? Because I don't. Why are you laughing?
My head hasn't been quiet.
I guess you're right. Wrong person to ask.
If it helps, your sister's in a similar position, although controlling less things.
That does not help, to be honest.
Thought maybe you could
What,
help
we would-
each other.
What, we would drink tea and have crumpets and sit around and gab about American Idol? No.
Well, no, I think more that clearly you're both confused. You both have a lot on your plate, and you're both quite stressed. And you both don't really have a direction at the moment. Maybe as siblings you could talk about it?
She'll make fun of me endlessly.
I'm sure you'll do the same in return.
That means I've shown too much.
She is your blood. If anyone can see your weaknesses, it should be them. Especially considering your affinity with your mother's does not
Affinity?
seem to be the best.
Yes. How could you tell? I will think about this.
Did you speak to Dom at all?
We had a little outing.
How did it go?
Fine.
Fine.
Rather good. We had conversations about family and life. About what was before.
And about realizing how it's changed and can't go back.
Yes, of course.
Because Dom's biggest thing at the moment seems to be wanting things to be how they were.
Yes.
Whereas yours seems to be the opposite.
In some ways, yes. If you look at the vampiric sense, I would love things to continue this way, yes. I don't have any desire for mortality. But when it comes to the mortality of my loved ones, I wish that would have stayed the same.
Well, in regards to your parents, I don't think much has changed. They are thin bloods after all. Best of both worlds.
The fact is, it has left me. It has left me stained. It has left me with less humanity than I had before. I think maybe that's why I'm also losing my edge.
So you need to reconnect.
We need to recharge you, is what we need. And you hear not Kaz, but Tristan.
Sadly.
No, I get it.
Do you?
Yes. Here's the thing, right? I've been debating over this, and like lifts the cover up to show his third eye. I've been reading about minute clan and about how they unlock the secrets and how they focus on studying how to make yourself feel more human. Everyone thinks that they're soul eaters, that we're people that go around and hunt people. But that's a lie. That was just spread. Ironically, by Wally's kind, but I'm not one to hold grudges. But the point remains, there has to be a way to reverse the damage. I'm sure it's possible. And I agree that turning your sister is definitely not the route to that.
Yes, Sherlock Holmes has entered the building.
Okay, I'm trying to be nice. Valerian, I am trying. You are. Dom sees you as being extremely important to them, so that by proxy makes you important to me. I'm
interesting.
Busting my fucking ass off here.
So have you worked out any ways?
Oh, not quite. It's not easy to I don't have the voices in my head anymore. I never thought I'd miss them, but hey, I would recommend going out of your way to make mortal connections.
Yuck.
I know it sounds horrific, but act more human. Find more mortals. Be near mortals. Find a mortal who's like, I don't know, whose problems resonate with you and help them solve them.
And then what? They turn and I lose them again.
No. You just... You protect them. Look, your mothers you could do nothing about. they kept a secret from you that they had no right keeping. For that, I'm sorry. No one should have to go through that.
Oh, don't pity me.
I'm not pitying, I'm empathizing.
Don't
I
do
lost
that
a
either.
lot. God, you are such fucking hard work, Valerian. I lost a lot when Dom got turned. And I didn't realize it at the time. I didn't realize how integral Dom was to my mental state. But when Dom stopped responding to messages as often, we stopped meeting up. I began to realize things weren't great. I tried to reconnect, I tried to find other people, but I'll be honest, if you haven't been able to work out, I'm not exactly the best people person. Making friends isn't exactly my forte. You, on the other hand, can still do that. In your own way. You still have ways of connecting with mortality. Keep your sister the way she is. Make that your new goal. Make that your focus. I don't want to talk out of line. Please don't attack me. And please
You have been this whole time. Please, keep going.
Again, not fucking helping.
I never said I was easy.
No, clearly. It shows.
Good.
Have you prepared for the eventuality? If Cassiopeia says no, but your parents are insistent that it's a yes. I don't know your parents particularly well. I've only heard the grapevine conversations I've been snooping on that I definitely shouldn't have been snooping on and shouldn't have just said out loud that I was snooping on. But one of your mothers strikes me as the kind of person who doesn't take no for an answer.
Dealing in family affairs now, are we?
Okay, Tristan, bye. And she's going to grab him by the shoulders and start pushing him off out of the room.
It was just a thought.
Yeah, excellent. Wonderful thoughts. Some thoughts you don't say out loud to Valerian.
Just push him back in his carriage and close the door.
Yeah. And then she's going to turn around with her back to the door. Well, he's not wrong.
He's insufferable.
Not wrong.
I don't want to say he's right.
Okay, well then let's think about what's been brought up and the fact that one of your mothers doesn't take no for an answer.
No, she doesn't. True. Sending her across the globe will do nothing.
Okay.
She documents wherever she goes, and of course, they both keep a close eye on that exact thing.
Would a distraction work?
A distraction of what?
I'm just thinking out loud.
Yes.
And if a
We could.
distraction doesn't work, can we just make her forget?
Yes, we can.
Can you?
Oh, I can.
Will you?
If it comes down to it, I definitely will.
Would you, though?
What kind of question is this? I hate her. Yes.
You've already said to me that she has quite the influence over you. I'm sure she's already aware of the power dynamic and how she's at a disadvantage now.
At that point, while you're talking, you can hear, which did you take Cass to Leto's carriage, or did you go to Cass's?
No, I went over to where all the documents and stuff.
Oh, the archive room.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought as well.
You can hear mumbling from the archive room.
Okay.
I think to. I'm sorry that I got
No,
interrupted there.
It's fine.
I think to finish that off. I think Valerian looks at Leto and just goes, "Are you trying to keep yourself around?"
No, I don't need to. It's more a worry that this is your weak link. And I don't know if you could do that to her.
Then be my guest. If you are allowed to, or if you are able to reprogram a person's memory so far back that they will not remember what this is supposed to be, then be my guest, please.
Well, I was just suggesting that I make her not want to change Cassiopeia anymore, but you seem to be thinking deeper?
No. They deserve to know that they are vampiric and that they have been turned. No, I am talking about Cassiopeia. All right. Interesting things to ponder. Mumbling in the archive room.
Yes.
Yes.
That is the sound of Cass talking.
To who I don't necessarily rush over, but my steps are a little bigger than normal.
Leaping strides.
Kind of.
You sort of hear a, no, mother, I'm fine. I'm here. Yes, I'm aware of what you are now and what my brother is. What do you mean, how did he tell me? We sat down and had a rather adult conversation about it. No, I'm not lying. We can have a discussion. I'm not covering for my brother. What do you mean, when's my turning date? This isn't a wedding. If I'm being perfectly honest, I don't actually think I want to go ahead with any of this nonsense. I'm being perfectly honest, Mother. I don't know who any of you three are anymore. I will admit that it's going to be difficult coming around to the idea that I'm going to age and you three aren't. And that I will grow old and you'll somehow be at my funeral. Do you know what? I don't want any of this. Roll a 2d10 for Cass. She doesn't have much in intimidate. She's not an intimidation person. She got 2 zeros. And besides, you wouldn't want me ratting you out anyway. It's better that I just continue to be a human. I mean, I'm sitting in this lovely archive room. Do you know these people? They're these people that hunt vampires. Do you know that? And it would be an awful shame if, you know, I was to tell them that, I don't know, there were some vampires in Berlin. I'm sure they'd love to know that.
I think Valerian, like, opens the door silently and kind of, like, leans in the doorway, smiling.
What do you mean they're not in Berlin? Where are you? How did you get to Calais? Why are you...
I think Valerian steps closer.
No. You are not coming over here. I will... I'll cancel every ferry somehow. Yeah, I know you can't fly over right now. That's why I'm happy that the internet is down. It's slowed you down. Why are you coming?
I think Valerian holds out his hand.
Do you want it?
Takes it.
Excuse me. They don't recognize that the phone's changed hands. And the last word you hear is, Cassiopeia, you will be turned. This is a family choice, not your choice.
Athena, I don't think that's what we agreed on.
Oh, let me guess, you were standing behind her the whole time.
Not necessarily. However, I have a better hearing than the both of you.
Don't gloat too much, Valerian. You might choke on your tongue.
I think I might make you choke on yours.
You don't want this showdown.
I believe it's called a Spanish fly, where they cut open the throat and pull the tongue through.
Go on.
I mean,
get it off your chest.
I thought you would know, since you are, you know.
I never said I didn't know.
Hook. You seem to be of a less intelligent persuasion at this point in time. See, it is her choice. And she's made it, to be honest. At least that's what I've heard. And he like looks at Cassiopeia kind of with a smile. You see, you can come over all you want. And we can have tea again, and we can sit down and talk and, treat each other real nice. But at the end of the day, you're thin blood, and I'm not. At the end of the day, I hold more power, and you hate it. You hate it so much. And that's, I think, what makes me thrive. The fact that you have a feeling of being less than me, that threatens you.
Let me make one thing perfectly clear. My entire life, I have thrived as the underdog. I got to where I am because people underestimate me. They assume that I am weak. They play their superiority cards over me, and then I just cut them down to size and watch them beg. I don't want to have to do that to my own son. But I have no issue cutting you up and leaving you outside.
So there is still empathy left in you?
And so what if there is?
It shows you're weak.
I'm doing this for family, Valerian. We cannot have one of our own just willfully aging.
You're doing this for selfishness.
Who's going to carry on my legacy, Valerian? You? That's a pathetic joke. I wrote you off ages ago. Cassiopeia is to be the true heir of the Bayonet name. You're so lucky that we cannot turn her. Otherwise, I'd have done so much, much earlier.
So who has the power here? You're coming here to turn her. You and what fangs?
We'll find
Your
some.
baby teeth.
It's
You'll find
okay.
some.
Okay. We would have a contact in London.
And who might that be?
Oh yeah, I'm not telling you that because you'll kill them before I get to London.
Oh. Sounds like you're scared.
No, I just know it's not stupid to play all your cards right in front of your opponent. Just be careful who's close to you.
All right. I'll see you in a business day.
Make that 3.
Oh.
Things are a bit slow, and I can't use the private jet.
How terrible.
We're having to go business class. Ugh. On a ferry.
Well, if you don't mind, I don't care about your shit. I hope you have a terrible trip. I hope it is filled with so many people who smell terrible, and that your Uber drivers try to talk to you all the way.
The seasickness will just help fuel my hatred of you.
Good. You'll need a lot of that when you go over here. I'm gonna hang up now, and talk to my sister, who's actually a rational human being,
Not
instead
for
of
much
you
longer.
two babies. Ta-ta.
Good night, Valerian. You
Hangs
hear
up.
the phone. Yeah, the phone hangs up.
No, he hangs up before them. There's no.
I'm hanging up first. No, I'm hanging up first.
No, I'm hanging up first. How dare you? He
Um,
hands the phone back.
Cass gets up and immediately throws herself at you, Valerian. Like, wraps her arms around you. Like, please don't let them turn me.
They can't. They don't have fangs to. They might have contacts, but I have more. They might have someone. I have weapons. It's fine.
I don't think I can be like you.
No, of course we can't. Are you certain? Because this is your choice. If you do want to go ahead, I don't.
No.
Like-
No.
All right.
The
Good.
idea of only wanting to live at night and having to drink blood and having to take it from other people. No, that's not me. I'd have the same heart as you, or Mum.
What's that supposed to mean?
You and Mother, you have drive. You have a desire to get what you want, and if blood is what you need, you get blood. You became a phlebotomist, for crying out loud.
Yes, I did.
I've not got that in me. I don't know how I'd even begin to get blood.
From people, usually.
That's the problem. I don't think I could.
Oh well, the Toreadors would have loved you. Come on. And he drags her out of the archives.
Her skin is almost marble white.
Mm-hmm.
As you come back out of the room and back into the main room with Leto and Tristan, who is looking over his carriage ever so slightly to look out to see what's going on.
I think if he does that, Valerian looks directly into his eyes.
Immediately,
maybe
straight
terrifies
down.
him a little bit. Exactly.
Immediately
Maybe
straight
terrifies
down.
him a little bit.
Just like a little kid.
Yes.
You don't see Leto when you go into the main room.
All right. I think Valerian notices that. Maybe he goes Leto once. But if she doesn't respond.
After a bit, she'll come out of her carriage. But not in response to the call.
Okay. Well, in that meantime, between that, he's set her down. And he's I think he's calling Marcus. I think he's I'm fucking desperate. I need this man.
you call Marcus, he picks up, he's like, hello, is everything okay? This is hang on, honey, it's okay, just pause the movie, it's fine. What's up?
I'm terribly sorry to call you. And I know you are off duty and everything. There has been a lot going on. Nothing to be too concerned about. However, I'm
Just
gonna
get
need
out.
I'm gonna need a meal.
Okay.
Not a vampiric one. I need a human meal.
Oh, actual. Okay.
I think Leto comes out at this point and is like, "Hey, Cass, do you drive?"
Yeah, I drive. Why?
You can drive?
Yeah.
You can?
Yeah, I learned last year.
Okay.
I'm not very good, but I can drive.
Okay. I have a treat for you. Did you want to stay with her? Or
Me?
yeah.
Well, I don't, I mean, she'll be fine in your hands. I don't necessarily need to come along.
Okay. Come on.
Okay.
I was getting her a meal.
I can do that.
All right. I'm sorry, Marcus. I have bothered you for absolutely nothing. Have a nice night. Goodbye.
Okay, goodbye. I'll be back tomorrow.
Hangs up. Where are you going?
Out.
Out where?
Well, she needs a meal.
All right. Well, make it something nutritious, please.
Okay.
Thank you. Cassiopeia,
Yes?
be careful.
It's okay. I have something. She opens her handbag and pulls out a very small revolver.
What the fuck is that?
I can't exactly carry one like yours, can I?
What do you
Doesn't
mean?
fit.
Your bag is... It must be big enough.
I mean, it is, but I don't want to take up the whole bag. And besides, this is enough to stop someone.
Oh my god. This is terrible. Fine. It's...
I mean,
hold
fine,
on.
I'll take a machine gun if you've got one.
No, I don't have one. What the hell? Hold on. Stay right there. Hold on. He runs off into the armory room, and he comes back, and he walks right up to her, and he just kind of like by a little thread dangles in front of her a taser. And he just goes, take this at least. I mean, you don't have to kill them immediately if they try to talk to you weird.
Okay, fine. She puts a taser in the bag. You see that she looks at the revolver? Like, pushes the barrel out, spins it, like, takes a bullet out, slides it in, spins it, clicks it right in. She's got firearm skill.
He goes, I don't like that you know how to use that. That's not... But I will turn a blind eye. Go. Get something to eat and forget about what happened.
The irony is, Mother taught me how to do it.
Ugh. Go.
Said that one day I need to learn to defend myself.
Ugh.
Okay, let's go. Food.
So as we're walking towards the stairs and up the stairs, Leto puts her arm around her shoulders and goes, come on, I'm going to wine and dine you. And then afterwards, I'm not sure if you've been to St. Pancras before, but there's a pink McLaren outside. She's usually sat there doing nothing because, well, I don't drive. But if you drive, we can take it for a spin.
Oh, yeah, fine. We can do that.
Do you like steak?
Steak is all right.
Let's go for steak.
Awesome. That sounds like a lot of fun.
I think
You
Valerian
trying to
hears half of
distract
that
me?
and it's just fucking like blood in his temples.
In answer to the distraction, she's like, distract you? Yes. Your family's very stressful.
Yeah, it never used to be like that, you know. Actually, like to be used to be a proper family.
But we're not talking about that. We're going out for good food and a wild drive.
Awesome. Steak. Yes, I like steak. Medium rare. Although I might have it well done, considering that medium rare still has blood in it, and I don't really think I can stand blood at the moment.
Well, we don't have to have steak. We can have something else. Don't you worry.
Okay. We'll get steak. Steak does sound nice. Are you taking to a place close by? or like somewhere slightly further out?
We're heading towards St. Pancras. We're going to go somewhere real fancy.
Okay. What do you try and talk to her about to distract her?
Oh, I am just flirting the entire time. Like, I'm talking about her gun skills, how good she is with her hands, and like how she learned it and what she's been practicing on. I'm going to talk about the fact that I've got a fucking sports car. I'm going to talk about some of the research stuff that we've done. But yeah, it's like none of this is deep. This is all like light chatter.
She responds back to the flirting like she did before, but it's not clearly she is distracted. Her mind isn't fully in it. Normally, Cass would be game for this. And it really would be a game of chicken to see who stops first. But at the moment, Cass isn't too interested. Give me wits and awareness.
That is 5 successes.
You've been walking for about 15, 20 minutes now. There's this green hatchback. I'm pretty sure you've seen it 3 times now. It's always driving in the opposite direction to where you're walking. But the license plate definitely matches. You also notice Cass has clocked that as well. And her hand is in her handbag.
Okay. We go down into one of the underground tunnels and we take the underground.
Awesome. You underground it to St. Pancras. It feels a bit weird using the underground because for a long time, a lot of the metal detectors in the underground were X scanners. That was how the Inquisition were filtering out vampires. Obviously, none of them now work anymore. They're all non-operational. But it still feels a bit weird using the tube. You arrive at St. Pancras. And don't appear to be followed. No one seems to be following you. You don't see the car. Are we gonna be okay?
Don't worry, darling. I know this place better than anyone.
Okay. Look, if things go down, just make sure you get out.
You're so funny.
No, I'm being serious. Like, here's the thing. If this is a mother ploy thing, if my mother's already got some people here doing work for her now, then they're gonna want me alive. They can't kill me. So I'm okay regardless of what happens. A bit discombobulated, maybe, but I'd be okay. What I don't want is to have you in a position where you might get killed.
And they'd have to try very hard.
Okay, let's just do what you want to do.
Tonight's about you, darling.
Honestly, I'm scared.
Okay, well, we can take takeout.
Not about them. It's fine. Just in general. I'll tell you when we get to eat. It's fine. No point saying it in the middle of the street. So you take Cass to like a fancy restaurant. She orders steak. Are you going to order anything?
I'll probably just order a wine.
Yeah. As she's eating it, Shaw goes, I'm scared of letting Valerian down.
Why?
Because he's not my mother's.
And what do you think he expects of you?
To be strong. To
Okay.
not make a choice that would burden him.
Well, you've ticked both those boxes so far.
Well, yes, that's because my mother's doing, but I don't want to make it any worse.
Sorry, I'm confused. You stipulated that you didn't want to let him down because you needed to be strong. And you have done that, so...
I think being converted would put pressure on my brother. I get it. You were right. I am Valerian's weak link.
I don't think so. I think you're probably one of his strongest.
If I was converted, I'd be a constant drain on Valerian.
I think that if you were converted, it would be done against your wishes.
I'm not going to lie, this doesn't go to Valerian.
I can keep secrets.
Part of me actually does want to be converted. Deep down, there's a bit of an ego in me that likes the idea of immortality. But I know the price of that is high.
You were upset earlier because the internet wasn't working.
Yes.
Because you like to do the things that are part of social media.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that will only last so long if you are converted, as you put it.
I'm trying not to say the other words out loud.
No, I understand. If you're converted, then obviously that can only last so long before people start getting suspicious. So that only has a very finite time.
Okay.
And then after that time, you don't have it anymore. So all of the things that you find particularly enjoyable about life, in 10, 15 years or so, you wouldn't be allowed to do them anymore.
My brother deserves better.
Then
Athena.
I agree.
She throws her weight around too much.
Yeah.
Is obsessed with legacy and renown and family. When Valerian kind of broke off and did his own thing in London, Mother was furious for months. Who's going to look after the drug empire? Who's going to, help expand it? Who's going to take over the reins so I can have a relaxing retirement? That's what I'm being bred for.
Well, by the sounds of it, she's not going to have a retirement anymore.
What she doesn't tell everyone is that she's being run out of Berlin slowly but surely. Let's just say that she's pissed off the wrong people over there. Hence why I carry a revolver.
It doesn't surprise me. She's not very likable, is she?
Well, no. She believes she's the best. Even when she's not.
Yeah, I can see where Valerian got it from.
Oh, Valerian and Athena are far closer together than I think even Valerian would like to admit. But I don't know. It's funny. Our mothers, one is a heartless asshole and the other one's just full of love.
Well, then let's focus on the one full of love, shall we?
Yes, but Athena's going to be the death of her.
So perhaps we change that.
Are you suggesting we kill my mother?
Maybe not we.
No, I don't mind the we. How do you kill a converted?
There are many ways.
I mean, I can't exactly put her outside in the day.
Why not?
She can survive outside.
Yes. Sorry, I forgot.
If you can tell me another way.
I don't really understand all this gangster stuff. That's not really my forte. It seems to be more your family's thing. So I'm not sure how much involvement you people want to have in this.
That car.
Hmm.
What if we were to not go back to the Acropolis with it?
Right.
What if we were to drive to Dover?
Right.
And intercept my mother?
I mean, we could, but it's not to our advantage. Sorry. When we met, I wasn't really in a state to really introduce myself to you.
Well, no, you were admittedly taking a very big chunk out of my neck. Which was very hot, by the way, now I think about it, but...
We'll get back to that again. So here's the thing. This is my home.
Mhm.
This is my domain. London is me, and I am part of it. It is a part of me. Think of it as a spider web. It doesn't matter how many flies your mother has in my web. I'm still the spider.
Okay. So what? We find the people. Try and find the person who.
Sweetheart, I'm already on it.
But how? It's barely
Oh,
been.
I listened to your conversation earlier on the phone.
What did she mean, someone close?
Well, she either means that she's managed to persuade someone nearby to do stuff for her, or it's a bluff and she's trying to psych him out.
So what? We get her over here, we get her in the web, and then we kill her.
If you think that's the best practice?
What else am I supposed to do? If she lives, I'm going to be turned eventually. I'm fed up of Valerian having to come and bail me out of problems. You see, she orders a bottle of vodka to have as a drink.
A whole bottle.
A whole bottle.
I think Lito's gonna stop the waiter and be like, forget that, and use the memory wipe to just be like, no, that's not happening.
No, I wanted to drink that.
Darling, what we do this evening, I want you to be able to remember.
Okay. I'm just fed up of Valerian having to be the one to bail me out of problems. I want to solve my own problem for once.
Okay, we can work towards that.
So I was reading the files in that archive room.
Mm-hmm.
I think I know a way of doing it. And she opens a handbag and pulls out a piece of paper from the archive room that she took with her. And like passes it over to Leto. It is the schematics that the hunters made for one of the firebombs in the apartments.
Mm-hmm.
I realized something. You all hate fire. But I'm okay with it. I mean, okay, I hate it too. It's dangerous and it can kill you. But I don't, like, immensely dislike it. I can be near it.
We have 3 days.
I was thinking car bomb.
Okay. Well,
I've seen the
have had
movies.
There's been a few cars that have gone, made their sacrifices. I'm not sure which car you would suggest. Look, the point is, we have 3 days to work this out and decide what the plan is in regards to this family affair.
Mm-hmm.
Three days.
Okay.
So for the next few hours, maybe let's not focus on that.
Okay, what is it you have planned then?
Well, we're in the dining part of it, as long as you don't get wasted on vodka.
No, I'm done. I've eaten. I'm done. I'm ready for whatever this next
Okay.
part of the evening entails.
Well, if you want to go for a spin, we can go for a spin. If not, we can go somewhere else.
No, well, let's go for a spin. It's late enough. There's not many cars out.
Okay.
You take it to this car. Is it full on pink?
Yeah, so it's like a metallic pink wrap on it. This is a direct. This is a legit car that is outside of St. Pancras Renaissance Hotel that has been outside of this hotel for
as long as you can remember.
Now 2024, so it's been out there for about 5 going on 6 years. So this is a legit thing, and I'm claiming it for Leto.
Give me dexterity and larceny.
Dexterity and larceny? Why?
Just to help take the car. I'm assuming you don't have the keys to it.
It is actually Leto's car. In canon,
okay.
I am making it canon.
Okay,
This is
okay.
actually Leto's car. I'm just saying
Fine,
that in real
fine.
life that this car exists.
Fine. Fine. You open the car. I'm assuming you give her the keys.
Yeah.
So she has 2 in drive. Good old Cass. The reason why she says, "Oh, I'm not very good," is because, well, I mean, first of all, guess who taught her? And let's say Athena didn't teach her how to drive so much as how to, like, get away, and, like, how to maneuver. So, like, speed limits aren't really a thing that isn't really a thing that Cass understands. So she is going to rev this car and just take off with it like a bullet, not giving a shit about anyone. She's driving around. But she's you can see she's very focused. Like, her eyes are glued to that road. You do notice, though, that for the 4th time, you do notice that green hatchback has found its way back into your view again.
Interesting.
The only problem for it,
go on,
is that, well, Cass is faster. So
okay.
it can't. It looks like it wants to catch up, but it just cannot catch up. It goes faster. Cass goes faster, and ultimately, this pink wrap car is going to go faster than that hatchback eventually.
I mean, it's going to go faster immediately. It's a McLaren.
Well, yeah. But
it's a McLaren 507S. Like, this thing is like a hatchback means nothing.
No.
When was Leto chill like this? My God. I didn't know she was chill like that. God damn.
It's one nice thing Leto allows herself.
She likes to go fast. It's just she can't drive.
Here's a fast thing that I can't drive, but now someone who can drive it for me.
God, Valerian is the same.
So as Marcus put pedal to the metal, Marcus like, no, this is a 30 zone. We're doing 30.
Faster, bitch. I said faster.
You don't suppose that hatchback, it 4 times in a single night.
Oh no, it's definitely following you, and I'm pretty sure you have a tracker on you in some capacity.
With what?
But it doesn't make any sense how else it could follow us.
Go through my bag.
Okay.
Like, I'm driving. I can't look through my bag. Going through. I'm going to say Leto doesn't need to roll for it because you've got time to examine everything in the bag thoroughly. It's not like you're in a rush. You notice that one of her key rings, it's like a key ring of like it's like one of those novelty kind of like touristy key rings from like, you get when you go to like certain cities. It looks like one of them. And it's supposed to be Spain, so it's got like the Spanish, like the map of Spain on it. Kat has quite a few of these. It kind of looks like that she doesn't want them because no keys are attached to them. They're just in the bag. It's almost like Mummy got them for her when Mum goes out on business. She just throws them in the handbag. The one with
just a keychain of key rings.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a keychain of key rings that she just doesn't want. That's one of the map of Spain. It's a tiny little black hole at the bottom that looks like it's been lifted. And if you put your nail in and peel it back, there is a tiny little chip in it.
Cool. She's gonna dangle it, like all of the key ring.
Oh God!
Like,
put that away. That thing's horrific.
Who got you these?
Athena. They're supposed to be presents to remind me of all the places I'll go.
She puts the window down and she goes, "Well, this is step 1," and she just lobs them out the window as we're speeding down the road.
I feel oddly okay about this.
You should.
You're attacking anyway.
Exactly.
Interestingly, she also bought Valerian some, but never posted them. She always had duplicates. Okay, where do you want to go now?
Where do you want to go? Have you ever been to London before?
Once or twice, just not for very long. If I'm honest, I kind of want to go back to Valerian.
Okay.
I kind of miss Valerian.
We can do that.
Just not a word. If he finds out that I'm missing him, I'm never going to hear the end of it.
Interesting.
Do you have siblings, Leto?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Well, yes, that's why I'm asking the question.
I find family too complicated.
Yep, no, I can agree with that. Family is definitely complicated. Don't have family. And she'll like turn into Camden. I rib on Valerian a lot. Kind of my role in life. My sole job is to annoy Valerian and get a rise out of him. But I do love him. And I'm sure on some level he's vomiting blood right now because he can just sense the word love's been said about him. He's just that kind of shrill of a person. But my parents were busy with their business. Valerian was the only one who kind of like stayed behind and cared.
Well, maybe you can reintroduce some of those thought processes while you are staying here.
Yeah. I just don't want Valerian to get hurt because of me.
I'm sure he can manage to get hurt through his own means.
Oh, he probably will. His pride will be the death of him, but I'd like to go first.
It's very morbid.
Suppose it is. It's fine though. I'm emotional right now. I get morbid when I'm emotional.
The internet goes down for one day and you get really morbid.
I will admit I'm feeling withdrawal. I haven't seen an Instagram story in hours. How am I supposed to know what people are wearing? And how I'm wearing things better than them?
Well, you can still document it.
I suppose. She doesn't pull up to the Acropolis. She pulls up a couple streets away. And then stops the car. It's a trick I learned. Like, never park your car where you're actually going. Park it near where you're going and walk the way there. Especially when your car is bright pink and very easy to spot.
Well, I think we should park it that way. You're on the right track, though.
Okay, why that way?
It's a good... it's a good symbol, a good message, if they decide to break into the place that it's at.
Okay. And like she parks the car exactly where you say to park it.
So it's at the old Acropolis.
Yeah.
Which is still gross and covered in blood and
Okay, we'll leave it here. Thank you for this. I know. I know on some level you're a kind of person that doesn't get used to being thanked. I can just tell by the absent look on your face.
I'm not usually around for this part.
If it makes you feel any more comfortable, you can do the disappearing into shadows trick.
No.
Okay, it's fine. It's just something Tristan warned me about. Apparently, you can just walk into a shadow and then disappear, and no one knows you're there.
Oh, I can. But if I was to let you walk alone back to the Acropolis, Valerian would be quite upset.
Well, no, because you're still there with me. You're just not visible to anybody else.
True.
If anything did happen, well, then you get the drop on them.
Also true.
It's thinking smart. But no, I get what you mean.
I am also allowed to walk around with arm candy. That's allowed.
Well, you couldn't get any better arm candy, that's for sure.
Exactly.
Has there ever been anybody else? Like, for you, I mean, like, anyone you've ever been close to?
I have people I'm close to.
Like, we're all here spilling our guts out and, like, you know, opening up, and yet you don't. You just stand there.
Well, I used to have a very close friend whose thoughts on the ways of the world at one point aligned with mine. Unfortunately, they are now in Edinburgh, and it turns out that their thoughts were not as aligned as I had previously assumed.
Oh. That sucks.
Hmm.
Kind of how it makes me feel about my parents a little bit, you know. They're not who I thought they were.
It's quite similar, actually. It's for the best that they're away, because otherwise I'd have had to have killed them.
Oh. I can't yeah, okay. I actually no, I oddly do empathize. I can't say shit. I'm thinking you're killing my mother. Like
Exactly.
I don't really think, oh god, that means I'm more like you than I realize.
Only in this particular encounter.
If I was going to turn, I hope you know you'd be the one I'd ask to do it.
You'd be surprised how many people have said that to me.
Maybe it's your magnetic personality?
Maybe.
I
I
don't
think it
know.
must be something to do with mystery. An enigma.
Yeah, you are definitely one of those. Part of me just wants to answer the riddle.
Unfortunately, if I was to convert you, it would just bring up more questions.
No, and besides, that would make me your responsibility, and you don't need responsibility in your life.
I'm
Responsibility is a
responsible for
burden.
everything.
Mother always taught me, never be afraid of the person that sits on the throne. Be afraid of the person that sits behind the throne.
Which mother?
Athena, of course. Never quite understood it myself.
So, would you say that Athena's the one on the throne?
Yeah.
Maybe you should think about that a little harder.
No. I know what the context of that means. I just don't like where that's leading.
No.
I bet a lot of my good memories on Athena being the only dipshit in my family. I don't think I could take it if I found out that all that loving and tea and hugs was a ruse.
I don't know if it's necessarily a ruse, but it can definitely be used in people's favor.
Who's really in charge of London?
Aren't you inquisitive?
Well, the reason I drew the parallel is that while Valerian definitely sits on the throne, I would argue that you stand behind it. I don't know. Is my brother just a puppet on a string?
It's at this point she'll start to try to distract her. with talking about her mothers again. And as she is doing so, she is using Mesmerize. And she is going to talk about how they had a lovely evening and that this conversation in regards to ruling of London does not come up.
Yeah, she speaks of how much she enjoyed the night, how much, she wishes that her and Leto could do more together. Doesn't bring the subject up at all. Can't even remember why the subject came up. She's mortal. She can't do anything against Mesmerize.
She'll leave the subject matter in regards to her two mothers and like the potential of the love bombing that's going on. But any further questioning down that route towards London is gone.
You'll arrive at New Acropolis.
As we walk in, I think Leto will be quite loud and just be like, Valerian, your sister, whole and hail.
All right. Thank you for being safe.
Oh, it's fine. We had a whale of a time.
Really?
Yeah, we had steak, and I drove a fast car, and yeah, that was that.
Doesn't seem very safe. I will look past that, though.
I stayed under 100 miles an hour.
No, you didn't.
There was that one corner where I did go a little too fast, admittedly, and I did have to use the handbrake.
Any
I pulled the
problems?
handbrake turn. No. It was suddenly quiet for this time of night. Except that... no, it's fine.
No.
No, it's fine. It's just, there was just a car, that's all. It just kept popping up. We outrun it. It couldn't keep up. I'm that good of a driver.
I don't believe that. Leto?
4 times.
Interesting. So she definitely has tracked you.
Had. Past tense.
Had.
I think
All
something
right.
was wrong with my key rings.
Ew.
It does mean that she knows where this is, though.
Oh, shit.
That's, to be. That was to be expected. I mean, I thought they knew from the first time, but, it is what it is.
No, that means I led them here.
Cass,
I'm
please.
sure they'd have worked it out themselves.
Exactly. Probably long before you were here. It's fine, truly.
I'm gonna go to bed. I need to think about this.
You're weird. You're
Only for
being
you.
weird.
Only for you.
What do you mean only for me? Where's Cass that makes paintings and is always covered in it and and just goes around not caring what people think and like, why do you need to ponder all of a sudden? What have you become a poet?
There's a lot of thoughts in my mind at the moment.
All right, fine. I'm not going to question them. I don't want to know. Go to your room.
You already know. That's half the problem. And
Of course.
she's gonna blitz off to her carriage, and quietly close the door.
She didn't change her mind?
About?
Vampirism?
It's a weird one. She doesn't seem to have made her mind up particularly.
All right. So she's been lying.
Well,
Lovely.
she doesn't particularly want to. But the reasoning she gave was that she would be a burden. I just don't think she's clear on it.
All right. Well, we have 3 days. Well, let her ponder more, and as you said, I will talk to her. Should turn in. Save our strengths.
Yes.
I will. Good night. Stop laughing.
One day you two will have a normal conversation.
We won't. We won't.
There isn't just awkward pauses while looking at each other, being like, well, one of us has to say something.
Yes, and it's always Valerian.
Yep, it's always Valerian.
Because Valerian starts to feel the awkwardness, and he's like,
This is funny. Dom and Leto have entire conversations where Dom is talking to nothing but thin air.
Yeah.
Yes. And this is just silence.
This is just staring at each other, going, one of us has to speak sometime.
Yeah. And then Valerian eventually being like, all right. like filling the silence.
Yeah.
I love it. I really do. Yeah, that's where we're going to leave tonight. Everyone going to bed. Tristan totally wasn't looking over the window again.
By the way, yeah, that scene with throwing the keychain out the window made me think of Bayonetta immediately. Because there's this scene where she's in the car with her compatriot and she goes, Enzo, someone's giving you a present. Too bad. I can't stand bugs. And then she throws the bug out the window. I'm like, yes, that's exactly what just happened.
I knew I should give Cassie a pair of lollipop.
Yes.
No. Thank you for tonight. It's been amazing.
Yes.
I do love these episodes, which just I love big episodes, but I also love the small episodes a little bit as well.
Just the two of us.
And hey, we got to know sex. It's fine. We just stayed in the awkward. We stayed in the awkward zone for.
They're not gonna fuck. I don't understand where this.
Look. A few of us have commented on it. It's gonna happen eventually.
I don't know where this fantasy is coming from, but y'all are delusional. That's what. It's crazy.
That's what fanfic's for.
That's true. Yes.
Anyway, we will be back next Sunday with more Vampire. Trying to cope with no internet. Which look, wait till Dom finds out. That's gonna screw with Dom more than anyone else.
Yeah, that's true.
That's gonna be bad.
What do you mean I can't log into my Spotify?
I can't watch the new Donaton episode. What the fuck? That's what's gonna happen.
Oh, and hey, if Wally comes back next week for one final one, yeah, just like it's just gonna be a case of like, what do you mean I can't watch Crunchyroll anymore?
Yeah, crazy.
There's those two nerding out to no internet. But no,
Hey, manga still exists.
True. We're gonna have to get old
True.
school.
Stupid.
Lying in bed with torches. Anyway, we'll see you next week. Until then, look after yourselves. Be good, be safe, be merry, and we'll see you next Sunday. Bye.